This is CTV News with Michelle Brunoro.
It's not the Danielle Smith show, it's the Canadian team.
Tonight, neighborly dispute, a fiery exchange between premiers as Alberta's Danielle Smith remains steadfast in her hunt for federal pipeline approval. Also
or
tonight,
having one that has a pressurized dye in it, like a dye bag that goes off in your face.
criminal cord cutters. Police search for a suspect after a string of EV charges are targeted in the act of vandalism on the West Shore. Plus, Adam finds out the connection between a man running a marathon in a suit and a tree sprouting ties in Victoria. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with a fight that appears to be brewing between premiers. David Eby has slammed Alberta's push for a new oil pipeline to Canada's west coast, something Danielle Smith called un-Canadian. Yesterday, Smith spoke to the Prime Minister about the project before he left for Washington. CTV's Rachel Aiello on the spat and how soon to expect Mark Carney to respond to the pipeline proposal.
Alberta's premier brought her push for a new pipeline to Parliament Hill today.
All it takes is the Prime Minister to say yes, and so I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get to that by mid-November.
Danielle Smith wants a bitumen pipeline from Alberta to British Columbia's west coast greenlit. But BC Premier David Eby has come out hard against the major project proposal, calling it a political creation that would put jobs and the coastline at risk. Today, Smith shot back.
I think Premier Eby's comments are un-Canadian and they're unconstitutional.
Eby then responded.
It's not the Danielle Smith show, it's the Canadian team. And we all deserve the same opportunity for the same federal funding for our projects as she does for hers. That's not un-Canadian.
Alberta's premier said that in her brief meeting with Carney yesterday, he committed to getting back to her by mid-next month about the pipeline and Alberta carbon capture project and whether the Liberals are ready to repeal certain environmental policies. Today, the Liberals touted their approach.
What we're seeing is a number of premiers, conservative premiers, very excited about our goals to make Canada an energy superpower.
While in the nation's capital, Premier Smith also met with federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre and his caucus. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
A highly charged crime is the focus of a new investigation on the West Shore this week after someone severed thick electric vehicle charging cables at community charging hubs. It happened over a 7-day period beginning at the Peninsula Co-op gas station on West Shore Parkway. Then 3 days later, the Shell gas station on West Shore Parkway was hit. That was followed up by 2 charging stations at the Wanda Fuca Recreation Center in Colwood. Police are estimating the damages to be in the tens of thousands of dollars. Since the cables were all cut near the chargers, the president of the Victoria EV Association believes the crime was a result of someone looking to profit from the copper wire within the cable. He says the vast amount of EV owners charge their vehicles at home, yet this incident will certainly impact 2 separate user groups.
Direct current fast chargers, sometimes called level 3, that are inside of cities. That's more for people who don't have access to charging at their place where they live. Other ones that are on the road between major centers, that's where you're doing the travel bit.
Until the connector has mated with the electric vehicle, there is no current going through the line. Glenn Gary says this type of crime is on the rise in major cities throughout North America and that companies are beginning to come up with solutions to prevent the thefts.
Either by having an armored line or having one that has a pressurized dye in it, like a dye bag that goes off in your face. And looking forward to those.
The president of the Victoria EV Association says a great resource for electric vehicle owners is the PlugShare app that identifies where the nearest charging station is located to you, as well as which ones may be offline. West Shore RCMP are searching for a person of interest described as a man wearing dark clothing, possibly driving a light-colored older model Jeep Patriot, which was caught on a security camera. An Nanaimo motorcyclist is facing charges tonight after a cyclist was shoved while riding, and the whole thing was captured on a dash cam. 48-year-old Marcel Trudeau is facing charges of assault and dangerous driving for an incident that took place at the beginning of August near the intersection of Departure Bay and Granite Park Road. Trudeau is accused of shoving a cyclist who then lost control, crashing face first on a sidewalk. Police say Trudeau did not stop and the cyclist required medical treatment. The video went viral online.
Social media can be a real good tool for us. Sometimes it makes our investigations longer because we end up going down a rabbit hole, but certain times in these, they narrow down the pool and led us to identify both these people in a timely manner.
Trudeau's second court appearance is scheduled for next week on October 14th. And staying in Nanaimo, where another man is facing multiple charges of animal abuse. Crown Counsel approved 3 charges against 36-year-old Dwayne Tyler Valley after a witness alleges they saw him punch and kick a German Shepherd that he appeared to be walking in downtown Nanaimo. RCMP investigated Valley was arrested and the dog was seized. He now faces 1 count of causing unnecessary pain to an animal, 1 count of uttering threats, and another charge for resisting arrest. The provincial government is introducing new rules to ensure contractors get paid on time. The province says that the new legislation will set clear timelines for construction project payments and establish a fast-tracked adjudication process to resolve disputes. The BC Construction Association is welcoming the new legislation, saying payment uncertainty has been an issue in the industry for decades.
Some may say it's what's taken so long. And yesterday we would have lined up and said the same thing. But today we're here, and it sends a really good message to the builders of British Columbia that the province and that the people of British Columbia see you as builders. They value you as builders. They appreciate the work that you do, and they want to see you get paid on time and fairly for the work that you've done.
Once the legislation receives royal assent, the hope is it will help projects stay on track and on budget by reducing payment disputes that create delays. More childcare spaces are coming to BC, and they're being created at schools.
Public schools are trusted spaces. They are community hubs, places where children go to learn, to play, and to spend their time. They hold incredible potential to offer the kinds of care and services that families need.
The School Amendment Act would enable school districts to provide childcare to kids of all ages, including infants and toddlers. This would include before and after school hours, as well as times such as holidays and Pro-D days when no class is in session. The kitchen at Victoria's Our Place Society was in overdrive today as volunteers welcomed hundreds of people for their annual Thanksgiving meals. Today's lunchtime meal was the first of 2 Thanksgiving servings available this week at the Society's Pandora Avenue facility. The second tabling comes on Friday evening from 4:30 until 6 p.m. for Our Place's 27th annual Thanksgiving dinner, sponsored by Dodds Furniture and Mattress. The Society says a record number of seniors are seeking out their services this year as the rising cost of living continues to put stress on our community's most vulnerable members.
The cost of groceries and the cost of living has skyrocketed, and these are a group of people who are typically on fixed incomes, very modest fixed incomes, and they haven't seen an increase in those, and therefore they have a significant gap in their income. So Our Place is able to provide them with food security.
With food costs rising up to 30%, the Society adds that even the smallest gifts can make a world of difference. Anyone interested in donating can do so online at ourplacesociety.com. A Victoria boy is using his design skills to adorn people with snazzy socks while supporting kids with cancer. 11-year-old Eamon Miller teamed up with the company Outway to design these socks, which feature an axolotl on a snorkeling adventure. This is the second pair of socks he's designed, with the proceeds going to the Island Kids Cancer Association. Eamon was diagnosed with leukemia last year. His mom says his oncology team appears, and a couple of NHL hockey players wear the socks.
Eamon, just by nature of who he is, he's always trying to, make people feel included, feel happy, build connections. And I think that this sock is just a testament of that and who he is.
She says last year his first sock design sold out quickly on Outway's website. The city of Victoria now has a global reputation to maintain after being named the best small city in the world for the third consecutive year. BC's capital took home top ranking in the Condé Nast Travelers Reader's Choice Award for best small city in the world. It's the third year in a row that Victoria has been awarded the honor, this time outranking well-known destinations such as Florence and Puerto Vallarta. Readers cite the city's stunning natural beauty, access to the outdoors, and vibrant food scene as its top tourism draws. And still to come, restoring relations.
We're going to be talking about trade. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things.
Carney and Trump talk tariffs, defense, and cross-border relations as the Prime Minister makes his second official visit to the White House.
Mostly cloudy, 16 degrees in Victoria right now. Should see a little more sunshine tomorrow and then some showers in the forecast for Thursday, Friday, and the weekend. Your forecast.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next vacation by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
West Shore Youth, looking for a fun spot to hang out? Youth nights are here. Skating, art, swims, and a place to chill. Staff-led and supervised for a safe, inclusive vibe. Check out wspr.ca for more info.
And Josh joins us now with a look at weather. And, okay, I know it's only Tuesday, but I think people are already thinking ahead to the long weekend, to how Thanksgiving's going to look. So is it going to be nice out? Are we going to be able to get outside?
Oh, you can definitely get outside. I mean, you're probably dodging some showers across parts of the island on Saturday and Sunday. Monday looks a little bit drier in Victoria, but both Saturday, Sunday have at least a chance of some showers. We'll get to the 5-day forecast in a moment. 17 degrees. We've kind of been bouncing back and forth between 16 and 17 through this afternoon. This will end up as the daytime high, a little closer to 20 there in Port Alberni. And the wind, not bad, about 10 to 15 kilometers per hour in Victoria. We've had a few scattered showers. You can see a little bit there further north. We had a few hit and miss showers a little closer to Nanaimo. It does look like most of the island, though, should be dry for overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. We'll wake up tomorrow with a bit of cloud cover from Comox down through Port Alberni to Nanaimo. Victoria will probably see some clouds in the morning and then some clearing through the afternoon. Tofino, you may see some increasing cloud through the afternoon. You notice there's no big systems coming through for tomorrow, but it does look like Thursday morning we get some showers. And then late in the day, Friday, we get some showers. In the north, it's a drier pattern. Partly cloudy skies, 13 degrees tomorrow. Sunshine and 13 on Thursday. And then into the weekend, temperatures will drop into the 10-degree range. So that's a little bit below average. And a chance of showers on Sunday. Inland areas, mixed sun and cloud, 14 tomorrow. You'll probably see a little more cloud cover in the morning than you will in the afternoon. I think a little more sunshine through the afternoon hours. Chance of some rain Thursday morning. Doesn't look like really heavy rain, but steadier light rain through the first half of the day. Then sunny breaks and 15 in the afternoon. Scattered showers for Friday with a high of 17. Cooler for the weekend, but dry Saturday, Sunday. Out on the West Coast, chance of some hit and miss showers tomorrow. And again, Thursday, these are going to be really widely scattered and will not amount to much, if anything. Most of the next 2 days should be dry. And Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look dry as well, with temperatures in the low to mid-teens for daytime highs. Comox up to about 13 or 14 tomorrow. Mixed sun and cloud. You get a chance of some showers Thursday morning. Otherwise, just mostly cloudy. And then late in the day, Friday, a chance of some showers. Temperatures in that 13, 14 range for Saturday, Sunday, with possibility for some precipitation on Sunday. In Nanaimo, 15 degrees tomorrow. 14 is the average daytime high. We'll settle into that range for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know, chance of some steadier light rain Thursday morning. Friday actually could be some steadier, more significant rainfall in and around Nanaimo, and as we'll show you in a moment, in Victoria as well. There might be 10 to 20 millimeters worth of rain through the day Friday, a break Saturday, and then a chance of scattered showers on Sunday. In Victoria, 10 degrees tomorrow morning. We'll call it a mix of sun and cloud, although, as we pointed out earlier, more clouds in the morning, then some clearing in the afternoon. About 16 degrees for a daytime high. Wind out of the west at about 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. West in the morning, more southerly through the afternoon hours. There's your chance of showers Thursday morning. Some rain Friday, a little steadier, it looks like, and again, possibly 10 to 20 millimeters worth, and then Chance of scattered showers or periods of light rain for both Saturday, Sunday. Not super cool, but highs right around average in that 14-degree range. CTV weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
Well, that doesn't look too bad. I mean, maybe some rain, but kind of depends where you are, how much you get, I guess. All right, thanks for that, Josh. Well, Mark Carney was welcomed to the White House today for high-level talks on trade and tariffs. This was the Prime Minister's second trip to meet up with Donald Trump, and this time at the invitation of the U.S. President. CTV's Mike Lecouture reports.
With a firm but friendly handshake, Prime Minister Mark Carney arrived at the White House for his working lunch with U.S. President Donald Trump.
We're going to be talking about trade. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things.
In a 32-minute Oval Office meeting, Trump called Carney a great man several times, adding he's confident they'd work through the issues preventing a deal on tariffs.
He's a world-class leader. He's a man that knows what he wants. And I'm not surprised to see that he won the election and won it substantially. And I would think he's more popular now. He's a good man. He does a great job, and he's a tough negotiator.
If he's a great man and you want to do a deal with Canada, why aren't you?
Because I want to be a great man, too.
Trump says the two countries are in a natural business conflict because Canada and the U.S. want to make similar things on both sides of the border.
It's a tough situation because we want to make our cars here. At the same time, we want Canada to do well making cars. So we're working on formulas, and I think we'll get there.
Carney said the two countries are competing, not in conflict.
We are the largest foreign investor in the United States. $500 billion in the last 5 years alone, probably $8 trillion in the next 5 years if we get the agreement that we expect to get.
Following the meeting, the minister in charge of Canada-U.S. trade updated reporters on how it went.
It concluded with the president and the prime minister directing us, me and my colleagues and the president, his cabinet secretaries who were there, Ambassador Greer, Secretary Lutnick, and others, to continue the conversation and to quickly land deals that will bring, we think, greater certainty in areas where the principal areas would be steel and aluminum and energy.
In a sign that work will be continuing, Dominic LeBlanc is staying in D.C. for the next 24 hours for more meetings. And this evening, Prime Minister Carney is having a working dinner with U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Washington.
Mounties in North Saanich are looking for some help from the public in identifying a couple of alleged scammers. Greater Victoria Crime Stoppers has released images of two men who allegedly used bogus bills for a series of fraudulent purchases in Sydney during the last week of August. Police say the pair are said to have used a counterfeit $100 note to pay for a meal in the 2000 block of Beacon Avenue. Officers say they then continued to a gas station and grocery store in the same block, again using fake money to make purchases. Anyone with information on the individuals is asked to contact their local authorities. Coming up, the Thai tree. Adam finds out why a tree in Victoria suddenly started sprouting neckwear. That's next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Win a fall cleanup with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Text JUNK to 71010 with your first name for your chance to win. Clean up your home or maybe your neighborhood with 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Details at ctvnewsvi.ca.
Finally, Adam finds out the story behind a tree in Victoria that, instead of losing leaves this fall, is growing ties on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Over and under.
When it comes to tying ties,
once you do this a couple of thousand times,
Bob Lamb doesn't really need a mirror.
You can do it in your sleep.
He first learned when he was little and mastered it after becoming a banker.
Wore a tie every day I worked for 60-odd years.
Bob also wore a tie that day he married his wife, Marnie.
He had to fit into a very conservative business role, but he was secretly a bit of a rebel.
When he wasn't conspiring with his co-workers to wear bow ties every Thursday, which earned him a nickname,
Bob, bow tie Bob.
Bob was running the Boston Marathon in a suit and tie.
You can do it the hard way or you can do it the fun way.
When Bob retired, he gifted or donated many of the more than 50 ties he no longer needed, until a flowering tree that was pruned too hard left them with a bunch of bare branches.
So Bob came up with the idea of let's hang a few ties on it, and then it just kind of blossomed from there.
Although there were few floral print ties in Bob's remaining collection, he and Marnie ensured the tree proliferated with plaids and paisleys and bloomed with bow ties all year round.
So the ties brought it back to life.
But then, thanks to strangers walking by, the tie tree took on a life of its own.
And all of a sudden, ties were appearing. People would stop by, and I would encourage, just add to the collection.
They've ranged from other seniors celebrating retirement to a private school student marking her graduation.
It's been a source of joy just for us, but also people walking by. So I think the tree's happy.
And like this one tie Bob has kept, featuring the lyrics to John Lennon's Imagine, he hopes that all the people will someday join him.
To just share the love and the joy and
realize that while some may see a tie as constricting, it can also blossom into something uniting. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
The tie tree. I love it. And that is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thanks for joining us. Take care of yourself. Tonight on CTV News, a war of words.
Premier Bree's comments are un-Canadian and they're unconstitutional.
It's not the Danielle Smith show, it's the Canadian team.
The battle brewing between premiers over a proposed pipeline and what David Eby is demanding also.
People are frightened about what's happening. Our city does not feel safe.
A city on edge, the latest on the violence plaguing Surrey and the growing concern. Plus, the organizers of Canada's Freedom Convoy won't be spending more time behind bars. Their sentence and what their lawyers are saying.
This is CTV News with Michelle Brunoro.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Pipeline politics escalated today. The premiers of Alberta and BC are taking some very unneighborly shots at each other. CTV's Rob Buffum joins us live from Victoria with the latest in this growing war of words. Rob?
Michelle, the rhetoric between Alberta's Danielle Smith and BC's David Eby has become positively personal. Smith was in Ottawa today, pushing her plan for a bitumen pipeline to BC's coast. She reacted to Premier Eby's ongoing objections to a new pipeline, including his support for the ongoing oil tanker ban, set out in a video he posted online Monday. Neither Smith or Eby mincing their words.
Premier Bree's comments are un-Canadian and they're unconstitutional. I think that the Supreme Court is determined that the reason we have a country and have given trade and commerce power and control over ports and interprovincial infrastructure to the federal government is for exactly this reason.
It's not the Danielle Smith show, it's the Canadian team. And we all deserve the same opportunity for the same federal funding for our projects as she does for hers.
Eby repeatedly has noted that the pipeline proposal does not currently have a proponent and says it would have to rely on federal funding. He says, therefore, if Alberta is going to get billions in funding from Ottawa, every other province and territory should get similar deals. He said he wants to see BC get $50 billion, every province and territory get $50 billion as well. As for a timeline, Danielle Smith said today that she spoke to Prime Minister Carney yesterday in Ottawa, and he assured her that he would give her an answer as to whether the pipeline will be greenlit by Grey Cup. That's mid-November, so we've got about a month ahead of probably sharp words between these neighboring premiers. Michelle.
Definitely some unhappy premiers there today. All right, thanks for that, Rob. Vancouver's Broadway plan got a jolt from City Council today. Councillors approved sweeping zoning changes to thousands of parcels of land in the Broadway and Cambie corridors. Craig Crouse is following this in the Breaking News Centre. And Craig, this is meant to speed up construction of new housing projects in parts of the city. How will it work?
Well, Michelle, the city says city-initiated rezonings, once enacted, will send projects directly into the development permit stage, cutting around 12 months from the approval process. That includes eliminating public hearings. So this affects more than 4,200 properties along the Broadway subway line and the Cambie corridor where the Canada Line runs. The city says most of the newly approved low-rise, mid-rise and high-rise developments will need to include some form of social housing and below-market rental or purpose-built homes. Renters displaced because of the construction, the city says that they can return to their buildings at a similar rent after the redevelopment. When that will be, though, well, that remains unclear. In the meantime, the city says the updated zoning will see buildings range from 4 to 22 stories. The city added that any new building will have to follow design guidelines, height and density limits. Michelle?
Thanks for that, Craig. Yeah. The impact of the ongoing trade war is really being felt here in British Columbia. Business leaders say months of uncertainty are weighing heavily on investment and jobs across the province. The Greater Vancouver Board of Trade says the ripple effect of the U.S. tariffs are hitting local businesses hard, from small manufacturers to major resource companies. Lumber exporters are facing some of the highest duties, more than 35% in some cases, and many small businesses say they can't hold on much longer.
This is an incredibly important meeting, and expectations are high that the Prime Minister is going to deliver. We have been caught in this tariff trade war for many, many months now, and the uncertainty is having an impact on businesses of all sizes and on investment, potential investment coming to our province and our country.
Greater Vancouver Board of Trade President Bridget Anderson says the business community is desperate for some certainty, whether that means a new deal or at least a clear path forward. She warns that without relief, investment could continue to leave the province and the effects could be felt for years to come. The mayor of Surrey is concerned for her community after 2 locations of the same business were shot at yesterday. Brenda Locke says it is encouraging that police have arrested 7 men in relation to separate extortion-related cases, but she says the community is fearful. She says the nature of the extortion attempts is changing, with many small-scale business owners also being targeted. She's encouraging anyone who has experienced extortion threats to report them, no matter how small they may seem.
I have talked to single-owner truckers that have been extorted for $25,000. So we know that is happening. I don't know the exact reason for that, except to say that sounds like copycat that are out there just to take whatever they can get.
It comes as Ustad G, a local restaurant chain, was shot at yesterday at 2 locations as police continue to investigate if the incident is related to the dozens of extortion attempts in the city. It was a 2022 campaign promise from Ken Sim that caught everybody's attention, a pledge to hire 100 mental health care nurses if he became mayor. 3 years later, Vancouver Coastal Health has hired half that number to provide new mental health supports. But the new programming funded by the city appears to be working. According to a Vancouver Coastal Health report, mobile mental health units are leading to drops in emergency room visits and police interactions.
So they have hired 41 of 50 mental health workers and nurses. And what we've heard today from Coastal Health is that they've determined that that 50 staffing complement is actually the right number of staff as opposed to the 100 that we promised during the campaign.
Going into an election year, ABC needs to not continue to make promises in the lead up to an election that are impossible for them to carry out or are oversimplified and gloss over the complexity of the problem and mislead the public.
The new mental health supports have provided assistance to 8,000 people so far this year. The province introduced new legislation today that would see more childcare spaces at schools.
Public schools are trusted spaces. They are community hubs, places where children go to learn, to play, and to spend their time. They hold incredible potential to offer the kinds of care and services that families need.
The School Amendment Act would enable school districts to provide childcare to kids of all ages, including infants and toddlers. This would include before and after school hours, as well as times like holidays and Pro D days when no class is in session. Local breweries are facing a new challenge, how the public workers' strike is impacting them. That story coming up. Plus,
we developed this method for converting blood from A or B to O type.
The groundbreaking work by UBC scientists that could one day bring hope to patients needing an organ transplant. As CTV News continues.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Vancouver, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
Craft breweries are pleading with the province and striking BC GEU members to get back to the bargaining table as their product sits in government warehouses unable to be sold. Retail sales for Port Moody's Parkside Brewery are down about 60% during the strike. Parkside sells 8 different beers at government liquor stores that are now behind picket lines.
So having that much inventory committed to somewhere where it can't move has created quite a few mathematical challenges for us, just sort of catching up and figuring out how much it can or not can. That's one issue, but beyond that, it's really a lot of the revenue from the BCL stores just isn't available, and those are the busiest stores in the province often, so that's a challenge.
With the liquor distribution branch also behind picket lines, the Parkside and many other craft breweries that rely on branch drivers to deliver their product to private stores and restaurants are now scrambling to set up their own distribution. It's a major step toward helping thousands of patients waiting for an organ transplant, and it's all because of a medical achievement out of UBC. As CTV's Dimitra Maragos explains, the breakthrough has the potential to make any donation universal.
Data from the Canadian Institute for Health Information shows close to 3,500 Canadians are waiting for an organ transplant. Dr. Stephen Withers from UBC says
there's a shortage of O-type organs for transplant.
And
O-type people tend to wait longer on that transplant list.
Doctors Withers and Jayachandran Kizakahe-Dathu have developed a method that could make more organs available in the future by creating a method that allows organ transplants across blood types.
We developed this method for converting blood from A or B to O type.
This is significant as O-type organs are universal donors. They have found enzymes that remove present surface layer A and B antigens and convert them into O-type antigens.
It's a little bit like if you were to rub the paint on your car, take off the surface layer of paint, you would expose the primer underneath.
In human experiment, an enzyme-converted kidney was transplanted into a brain-dead recipient. For 2 days, the kidney functioned without signs of destroying an incompatible organ within minutes. While on the 3rd day, the kidney showed signs of a mild reaction.
The transplant surgeons assured me that they should be able to control any subsequent rejection.
While doctors have been able to perform transplants with different blood types in the past, it takes a week to prep the patient. This research shows it can be done much faster without a living donor.
The patient doesn't need any significant preconditioning, but the organ itself just needs a treatment for 1 hour with our enzymes, and that's it.
They add this could dramatically impact organ wait times across the board.
That the number of organs available for transplantation is going to be increased.
Although this is an exciting breakthrough, there are still more studies to be done, and the doctors tell me that clinical trials are still a ways away. Dimitra Maragos, CTV News, Vancouver.
Okay, ladies, listen up. BC Cancer is encouraging women to book their mammograms as job action from Canada Post delays the usual reminders in the mail. Regular screening mammograms can find breast cancer early when more treatment options are available. They're available to most women 40 years and older without any symptoms. Every year, 3,500 people in BC are diagnosed with breast cancer, with rates rising for women in their 20s and 30s. People of all ages are encouraged to check in with their doctor if they notice any changes to their breasts. An angry elephant charges a group of tourists on a safari, and there's video of the scary encounter. We'll show you that just ahead, but first.
As far as the sentence goes, we're pleased that she is not going to be spending any more time in jail.
Sentences handed down in a packed courtroom for the leaders in the 2022 Freedom Convoy. The details are next. And you are looking at a live shot over the water, a beautiful English Bay this evening. Some clouds out there tonight, but it looks like a pretty nice evening still there, Anne.
Yes, dry right now. We had a few sprinkles move its way through, but mostly cloudy conditions out there, looking nice and bright. Here's our look at our satellite radar imagery. We do have a ridge of high pressure building offshore, and that is going to clear things out of the way for the north coast as well as the northern interior. For us, a different story along the south coast. Here's a look at our weather tracker. Mostly cloudy skies out there right now. As we head through the overnight, we'll see cloud coverage into tomorrow morning. Widespread cloud for your early morning commute, and it's not until later tomorrow night that we see another line of showers move its way through, so some sprinkles as we head into tomorrow evening. For the southern interior, you'll see a few sprinkles as well. For Kamloops, 11 degrees with a few showers. Sunny breaks for Vernon Clone at 16 degrees, 17 for Osoyoos under a mix of sun and cloud. You'll see 18 for Cranbrook at partly cloudy conditions. For the central interior and central coast, blue skies and sunshine for Bella Coola, as well as Prince George, a few clouds for Quesnel, Williams Lake, overcast conditions, and a high of 7 degrees. Lots of sunshine for the northern half of the province. For Prince Rupert, Terrace, Smithers, a few clouds for Dease Lake, Smithers. Fort St. John, you'll see showers clear out of the way for Fort Nelson, and a high of 12 degrees. For the North Island, mostly sunny skies for Port Hardy at 12, 13s under a mix of sun and cloud for Campbell River and Comox. For the South Island, you're looking at a few showers for Tofino, drying up through the afternoon. Sunny breaks for Southern Gulf Islands and Victoria with a mix of sun and cloud for Port Alberni and Nanaimo. For the Sunshine Coast, early morning showers clearing out of the way. Same story up the Sea to Sky Highway for Whistler and Squamish. And for us across the lower mainland, we're looking at overcast skies, 14 degrees across the board with a line of showers through tomorrow night into Thursday morning before it dries up. Rain returns on Friday, 13 degrees into Saturday morning before we see some sunny breaks. And then on Sunday, mostly cloudy skies and a high of 12 degrees. So get your umbrellas handy. It's going to be pretty wet on Friday.
Okay, my husband will actually be happy with a little rain because he planted a little bit of lawn in one area.
Oh, perfect.
It's not been growing too much, so it needs a little rain on it.
Yeah, then you don't have to water.
Exactly. All right, thanks for that,
Welcome.
Anne. Well, the two organizers of the Freedom Convoy that gridlocked Ottawa's downtown core 3 years ago have been spared further jail time. Convicted of mischief for their roles in the protest, Tamara Leach and Chris Barber were both handed conditional sentences today. CTV's Katie Griffin reports.
The organizers of the Freedom Convoy walking out of court to cheers and applause.
We are still very seriously considering an appeal of the conviction for mischief. But as far as the sentence goes, we're pleased that she is not going to be spending any more time in jail.
In a courtroom packed with supporters, a judge handing down 18-month conditional sentences for both Tamara Leach and Chris Barber for their roles in the 2022 protest over vaccine mandates and other pandemic measures.
For my client's comment, he respects the judge's decision. They're reasonable in her view and not appealable in terms of the sentences.
Was there remorse for what she did? No.
The protest saw thousands of people and hundreds of trucks gridlock the core for weeks, horns blaring. The judge says while Barber and Leach attempted to work with officials to shrink its footprint, neither took steps to end or stop the demonstration, which was disturbing the peace. Barber will spend a year under house arrest and will then have a curfew for 6 months. With credit for time served, Leach will serve 12 months of house arrest and have a curfew for 3.5 months. Both will have to complete 100 hours of community service.
I think the judge wanted to make sure in her decision today and even in her decision on conviction that protest is allowed. That's not the issue. It's the manner of the protest.
In Canada, constitutionally protected freedom of speech, which encourages peaceful assembly, must prevail over the rights of property owners, the enjoyment of property. It's not an equal balance, and that's the primary basis that we're considering for an appeal of conviction.
Well, we've got some amazing video to show you of a sea lion rescue. That story's coming up. Plus, a terrifying moment caught on camera as an angry elephant charges at a group of tourists. We'll tell you how this all ended. With the Canucks just a couple of days away from dropping the puck on a new season, the team's GM is feeling confident the team can make it back to the playoffs.
I believe in the team we have here. We all know the parity of the league and the condensed schedule and health, but we're very excited about the group we have here.
It will be a younger squad than the team that missed the playoffs by 6 points last season. Most notably on the opening night roster is the Canucks' first-round draft pick, 18-year-old Braden Coots, who scored 4 points in 4 preseason games. And now with a preview of CTV News at 6, here's Mi-Jung Lee.
Michelle, we are hearing from Surrey Mayor Brenda Locke responding to a day of chaotic violence in Surrey yesterday. There were multiple shootings, several related to extortion threats, and a man was charged today after shots were fired near a SkyTrain station and a police station. Also coming up, climate change could bring more flooding to BC. Now, new research out of UBC suggests governments may be focusing on the wrong areas when it comes to preventing catastrophic flooding. And a developing story, there's been a helicopter crash near Squamish. One person has been taken to hospital, the latest on their condition. I'll be back at 6. Michelle?
Thanks for that, Mi-Jung. An aerial drone show goes from cool to chaotic, and another drone helps rescue a suffering sea lion. CNN's Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Watch an impressive aerial drone show in China turn chaotic after spectators were seen scurrying from falling fireballs. Several of the drones featured in the impressive coordinated air show appeared to have fireworks attached to them, and videos shared across social media showed fiery debris raining down and even shots of fires on the ground below the falling embers. The malfunction happened during a National Day holiday celebration in the city of Liang, which frequently hosts pyrotechnic shows and is known as the fireworks capital of China. According to local media citing authorities, no injuries were reported in the bizarre and incendiary aerial incident. But hey, it's not all bad news drone-wise. Just take a look at a marine mammal rescue made possible with the help of, you guessed it, an aerial drone. After a sea lion in the Salish Sea was spotted suffering from a plastic packing strap wound tightly around its neck, a multi-agency rescue effort was launched by air and sea. First, an aerial drone was used to locate the ailing animal, and then teams moved in to track, wrangle, and sedate it so they could carefully remove the suffocating strap before re-releasing the rescued mammal. Scientists say the rescues are a reminder of the far-reaching impact that our trash can have on the planet. It's also a reminder that when they aren't raining hellfire from the skies, drones can be plenty helpful. This one didn't just aid in a critical animal rescue, it allowed you to watch it all unfold in glorious high definition. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Aww. Well, it looks okay now.
Yeah, that's good.
I know. Amazing stuff. Also amazing stuff, this video we're about to show you, okay? So turning now to some unbelievable video from Southern Africa. A fearsome elephant charged at a group of tourists on safari.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh, it happened in Botswana. The elephant was reportedly protecting its herd's young calves. It charged on the safari's boat, flipping it over. 2 tourists on the safari say they thought the worst would happen.
The first thought that came to my mind was, this is the end of me.
With the help of guides, most of the tourists were able to get away safely, although one tourist did suffer some injuries. Experts say an elephant guarding calves is considered one of the most dangerous animals in the wild.
Yeah, I would think so. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. A spectacular shot of the supermoon last night from Port Coquitlam. Thanks, Terry, for sending this one in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Wow, that is an incredible photo. Neat moon last night. All right, well, we return for CTV News at 6 with Mi-Jung. Right now, here's CTV National News.